And the news was Chris Paul would not play after the hamstring injury in Game 7 against the Spurs. And a game in which he played through that and came up with this.
That was a foul.
The game winner.
Offensive or
No, that was
I think it was both.
Well, you can't call
First he
both.
fouled, and then the offensive foul. So the foul came first.
That's a tough little man right there. You
Yes,
got to
it
have
is.
a number of respect for Chris Paul.
And tonight in street clothes. Don't know why they call them street clothes.
Because
you wear 'em
on the street.
Well, you wear them everywhere.
Or as Kenneth family says, street.
There's Dwight Howard.
Well, as your family would just go naked.
Things are taking a real weird turn. There's Tracy McGrady and Akeem.
And that's Les Alexander, who still owed me $3 million.
Again, it takes another weird turn.
Oh, give me
Andre
that.
Jordan with the block on Howard.
I was interested
great
to see
defensive player, great mover at there, excellent timing.
I was interested to see who was the most athletic. But
Guess
go
what,
get that
Ernie?
right back at
Right
you.
back at him, Ernie.
But Dwight Howard has to score where DeAndre does not. And so this is going to be a difficult matchup for Dwight because of DeAndre's athleticism, his timing, and his energy.
Because the one thing he has to do, he has to block him out every time. It's going to be hard for him to cheat on defense.
No
Here
question.
we go. There are several candidates to be hacked in this series. Josh Smith gets hacked.
I got to call
Late in the
Adam
half.
Silver because we want to put a little, file a lawsuit to put on hold this Hacker Shack thing.
And then
Come on, man. I'm sorry, Hacker Dummy.
the Rockets immediately respond, and everybody's laughing it off.
No, you know
It's
what?
not funny, Ernie. We have to sit here all night and watch these free throw bricks and build a whole little community with these bricks.
Well, I have a
50 to
thought process
46.
for that, Ernie.
50 to
I have a thought
46 and a
process.
half.
I have a thought process.
Okay,
I have a way to
let's
solve
go
it.
to the third quarter.
I have a way to solve it.
And there's Austin Rivers, who started for Chris Paul, had 3 points in the first half and connected there. And then Blake Griffin, man alive.
Blake was terrific tonight.
He's got 3 triple-doubles now in these playoffs. He had 4 in his career coming into this postseason.
Oh, my God.
Jamal Crawford
That's
playing
called
pop
luck,
a shot.
Ernie. That's called luck, Ernie.
Yeah, 83-77 Clippers going to the fourth.
Good pass. That was a great pass.
Matt Barnes all by
that
his
was a
lonesome
great
knocks it down.
pass.
Matt Barnes played great tonight.
The pass was better than the shot, I'll tell you that.
Oh, get that out of here.
And the block shot was even better. DeAndre Jordan played like a man.
Oh, push it.
Oh, there's a corner 3 waiting to happen right here.
Three-ball
And
corner
it's
pocket.
Jamal Crawford.
Blake did it all tonight, Ernie. Very aggressive, facilitated, score when he needed to.
You know, this was an interesting game.
Is this the best you've ever seen Blake play
Yes.
on a consistent basis?
Yes, he's been
When the lights are on. The lights are on now. So
How about
Oh,
J.J. Redick, who
hold
was
on.
scoreless in the first half and had 17 in the second half?
wow. Well, you lose track of
But
J.J.
Ernie, you know,
Redick.
Reggie
That's
said something
conversation.
very good. You know, the Rockets screwed around so long that the Clippers got confidence and you couldn't put the foul. And like Kenny always talks about, they just had too many holes to plug.
Yep, and it was an inferno by the end of the game. 117-101. The Clippers, 48 hours after that dramatic Game 7 win over San Antonio, go to Houston and beat the Rockets by 16. Second straight triple-double for Blake Griffin and his third in these playoffs. And you talk about in a playoff year, in your first 8 games with 3 triple-doubles. You can see Magic did it 5 times in 82 in the first 8. Wilt,
It's great. I mean,
4 times
Well, no
in 67.
disrespect, he's not on this list. yet.
I'm saying this is a great list, Ernie. I'm not taking anything
Come on,
away,
man.
but
Don't
Why
go-
would you just limit it to the first 8 games? What about the whole?
Yeah.
No, but just saying it's a great start to the playoffs.
he's
for Blake
played
Griffin.
great, but let's
he
don't go
has. He's
crazy
taken it
now.
to another
I
level.
mean, like,
I can say,
Give the man his props.
I'm not saying, but
stop
that,
it,
that
man
list
is
is
proud. The man
playing
made the list. The man
great.
made the list.
Plenty
on,
of stuff
man.
you can pick apart, but having 3 triple doubles.
well, you play more than 8 games, though. You do know how to 8
I know
games.
we
Your
will
first 8.
add on to
The
that.
first 8. 3 times. Give the man his props.
Pretty harmless stat. Pretty harmless.
Well, it wasn't
graphic.
harmless for me and Kenny.
Well, obviously, you were taking it very personally because I guess you
Personally.
weren't on the list. Anyway, boy, the Houston Rockets with their turnovers. 24 in this game. In the last 2 games, they got away with it in Game 5 against Dallas because they won that game, but they've had 45 turnovers in the last 2 games.
You know, they were very, very lackadaisical with the ball. Maybe it's a week off. Maybe they didn't respect their opponent. They were just cool tonight. You know, they're going through a lot. They didn't come out with the killer instinct. And, you know, Clippers just stayed with it. And, you know, they smelled blood and they won the game.
Yeah, I agree, 100% agree with Shaq. The Rockets came out, whether it was the week off, I'll give them a little pass on that, but they didn't even play with energy. Like sometimes when you don't play for a week, you don't make crisp passes, but you do play with energy. They play with no energy. Kevin McHale said it during the interview. But the thing that bothered me, man, they didn't respect their opponents. They kind of melded. They're like, because, you know, Doc even said it. They had like a 10-point lead. They're kind of like, oh, well, we can screw around and beat these guys. And then what happened, then Reggie said something during the game. If this game is close down the stretch, these guys all got their confidence now. Because you look down the stretch, Austin hit a shot, JJ hit a shot, Matt Barnes hit a shot. If you let players get confidence, but this game was about two things, in my opinion. The Rockets being very casual and not playing with energy. But listen, they didn't respect the Clippers now. They could, like, we can beat these guys.
Hey, our friend Bones, Brent Barry, is going to be working, I believe, the Golden State game tomorrow night on TNT. And he took note. He was watching like a hawk tonight, obviously, and was watching our Between Games segment, at which time you thought without Chris Paul, Clippers would not have a chance in this game. Isn't that not correct, TK? Well, then where's that tweet? Oh, here it is. On this series with the Clippers going 7 against San Antonio and now opening up in Houston with no Chris Paul.
I think the Clippers got no chance. I didn't think they had a chance with Chris Paul because they're just not deep enough. The Rockets.
In the series or in game one?
Either. The Rockets are one of the deeper teams in the NBA. The Clippers, first of all, this is so bad for two reasons. There's nobody on the Clippers can get their own shot other than Jamal Crawford. There's nobody on their team can get their own shot. You can't get a ball to Blake or DeAndre or J.J. Redick and say score. That's what's really going to kill this team.
So it wasn't a tweet from Bones. It was a text from Bones requesting that be replayed in the post-game show.
No, but Chuck, I got your back. But you know what? Everything Chuck said is correct. However, Houston can't have that attitude.
Yeah.
If Houston going with that attitude, what happened tonight,
Thank you, Shaq.
same thing will happen.
I mean,
everything Chuck said is correct.
If the guys come to play,
exactly.
If they have no chance.
You know what's strange? You know what's strange to me though? You can look at these series and say, well, here's a team that's well rested. Let's see how they do. Like Washington hadn't played in a while. They go to Atlanta, the #1 seed, and win game one on their
but
floor.
they didn't. Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, I always say the mental focus of a champion is different. There's a different mental focus. And they don't look at these opportunities as a day off. They look at these teams at these opportunities as blood in the water, as a shark. So these guys, a championship team would have said, oh, what kind of opportunity we have? This is it. And then the energy level would have been different. And honestly, the Clippers and the Houston Rockets, the thing that we've been saying about them for years, the reason why we didn't feel they could be champions is their mental fortitude, their toughness. He used to say Chris Paul is the toughest guy and he can't beat it. Like, now it's coming to fruition for the Rockets tonight, where the things that we said, they don't have that mental fortitude. There's no way that they should not beat the Clippers in a playoff game without Chris Paul.
I got another question for you, but I'm going to wait on it because we want to hear what Kevin McHale had to say.
Much more of an edge. They played harder than we did. Again, we did not play very well. And I didn't believe our effort was for a second-round game, trying to hold home court in the first game, them coming off a dogfight series against the Spurs. They had more energy than we did.
Was the time off a factor for you guys?
No, there's no excuses. They played better than we did. There are no excuses. I mean, where you have time off, no. They came out and they wanted it more. I mean, I'd like to tell you something different. They wanted it more. They came out. They were quicker to loose balls. They had 16 second chance points. We had 11. We didn't even go to the offensive glass hardly at all. They had 9 offensive rebounds. We had 6. We missed a million shots and had 6 offensive rebounds. We weren't. We just looked like we looked and felt a half a step slow the whole night. It looked and felt a half a step slow in the first quarter. It looked and felt a half a step slow the whole game. It looked like we were reacting to everything they were doing, and we were not being proactive whatsoever. Started off the game trying to go inside and just turning, having layups and then turning around and throwing the ball to them without shooting the layup. They played better than we did. We have to play much better than that. That was not that was not the effort. Forget everything else. Just the effort level has got to be better. Days off are no excuse. There's no excuses. I mean, you either get the thing done or you don't get it done. We didn't get it done. They kicked our ass. That's the bottom line.
Spoken like a true champion, Kevin McHale. 24 turnovers leading to 34 points
but Ernie,
for the Clippers.
Like sometimes, we talk about this. Sometimes we make this thing out bigger than it is. You have to play well. Kevin you can see, I can't believe that this team won 7 games. They're without their best player, and they had more energy than us. We got the much younger team. We're the much deeper team.
And we had 7 days off.
And we had 7. Like he has to be like, and like he said, we didn't even play with any energy. Like we had a 7 days off.
5 nights. 5 nights actually.
You can play bad, but I think he was just telling by his voice he was so frustrated by the lack of energy.
Here's my question that I was going to ask before we went to Kevin McHale, and you heard Reggie Miller say it late in the game. He said if he's Doc Rivers, he doesn't play Chris Paul in Game 2.
I agree with him.
Take advantage of that. You've already gotten your split, but
that's the worst thing about this Rock. You know, Kenny was talking about. To me, if I had been the Rockets, I would have said, guys, let's put our foot on their neck tonight, because you got to be thinking like if we want to set the tone, and they would have put pressure on Doc to play Chris in Game 2.
But what do you do now in Game 2?
I don't play Chris.
All right.
I don't play Chris at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a free game coming up. I don't play Chris at all. Now you're looking at the next game is Friday. He's been probably going to be almost off a week. I mean, the big winner tonight, I still think the Rockets are going to win this series, but the big winner tonight was Chris Paul because he's not playing in Game 2.
I'll tell you what, I think we're all in agreement not to play Chris Paul. But a lot of people always say, well, what does that mean when you say put your foot on their neck or you shouldn't play hard enough? And playing for a great coach, Dean Smith, he used to always categorize what playing hard meant. And I would imagine if you showed the film and you say, here's an opportunity for a 3-on-2 fast break, and the third guy is not running, and it all of a sudden becomes a 2-on-2 fast break. But in fact, third guy runs. He runs into the lane, then you have an easier shot. That's the things that champions do. That's the effort. They make 2-on-2 fast breaks into 3-on-2 fast break. They make 2-on-2 defensive into 3-on-2 defense where there's 3 guys back. That's the effort that Kevin McHale is shocked that he probably didn't get. And that's what champions do. There's no way around it any other way. You could talk about skill. You could talk about the greatest players that ever played, but they played with effort, and that's why they're champions.
And let me give you another example. The Chicago Bulls tonight. Ain't no doubt in my mind they said, hey, man, they got no Kevin Love. They got no J.R. Smith. We can't let these guys get their confidence because we can't come here and go back home 0-2. They're missing 2 of their 5 best players. Yep. And they showed the energy they came out to start the game. They put their foot on their neck from the beginning.